What up, what up, what up? Let's talk about challenge and pass. How do you know what that sound around the corner is? How do you know if that's somebody to shoot or your bestest friend, right? It'd be so sad if you shot your friend. That would be not fun. So, how do we not do that? We utilize challenge and pass codes, right? Like this is a fucking clubhouse. You better know the right goddamn word or else you're not getting in. Cool? So, we need to do this in a way that even if somebody speaks our language for whatever reason, we're able to properly utilize challenge and pass, right? And this is still doctrine to how the U.S. military did it, even when we were operating in Turkestan. So you have a primary, a secondary, and a running challenge and pass. Your primary challenge and pass are words that can be said in conversation, but typically are something that is whatever, something that only you and your dudes are going to know, right? If we're talking about on a national level, then America's probably talking about baseball or whatever. If we're talking about a more personalized conflict, it's going to be more interpersonal to your clan, family group, cultural region, whatever the case is, right? But the two words, right, we'll say baseball and apple pie. So somebody's going to say baseball, and then the response to that needs to be apple pie, and that's how we know that we're friend and not foe. But we don't just say baseball and apple pie. We put them in a sentence. So I'll say, man, did you watch that baseball game last night? And then the mysterious person who made a noise behind the bush should respond, no, I didn't see it. I was busy eating my mom's apple pie. And now we know I said baseball, he said apple pie. We're friendly. We should not shoot at each other. But if an enemy person was sitting just 5 feet away from us listening, they're not sure that we did a challenge and pass. And even if they think we did, they're not 100% sure which word it was that was the right word. Cool. Cool. Secondary, right? If for any reason that doesn't work or we don't trust it or we think it was blown or we can't remember, we can utilize a secondary. Secondary is typically numbers adding up to 10. All right? So any two numbers that add up to 10. And you can change this, right? You can change it on the fly. If somebody else has started to know that you're doing numbers added up to 10, you could do numbers to 5, numbers to 20, numbers to 15, numbers to 6, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Similar way, I'll say, man, I lost 3 pairs of socks last night. And then the response should be, I packed 7 extra so you can have some of mine. I said 3 number. He said 7 number. 3 plus 7 adds to 10. We're friendly, right? But if I said, man, I lost 3 pairs of socks last night to a mysterious noise behind the bush, and the bush said, oh, that's a bummer. Well, that person is catching some rounds now because they did not respond with a number adding to 10. And then lastly, we have a running challenge and pass, right? Now, a running challenge and pass is a single word that you say because you don't have time to do the whole pleasantry semantic thing, right? I'm like being chased by the enemy from my security patrol and I'm running as fast as I can back to the defensive lines. And while I'm running back to them, I'm saying flash, 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 flash. And they respond thunder, 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 letting us both know we're friendly and not going to shoot at each other. All right. Now you keep your running different than your primary. That way, in case somebody figures out what your running is, they still haven't figured out what your primary is. Because your running will be less tactically said. It'll be more just out in the open. Wonderful. That's challenge and pass. That's how you know who that mysterious man walking down the lines at the night is. And do not shoot your friend and don't get your throat slit by Charlie. Wonderful. All right. Have a good one, y'all.